The movie opening features a masterminded robber, Diabolik, who is seen climbing an exceptionally secured jewel company called Armin. He wants to steal the most significant jewelry called Armin Crown, prestigious for its unadulterated gold and valuable gemstones. There is just a single security officer working. While most of them are playing a card game in their office, Diabolik slips into the working through the window, kills the patrolling officer and breaks into the room where the crown is saved. His interruption sets off the alarm, alarming every one of the securities in the workplace. They race to investigate the matter, yet can't open the door since the keyhole has been obstructed by Diabolik from inside. After numerous attempts, the security guard resort to utilizing explosives to explode the door. As they plan to do as such, Diabolik gets sufficient opportunity to slice through the steel bars protecting the crown. When security break inside the room, Diabolik escapes through the window utilizing his paraglider with the crown as he claimed ownership. He then lands on a vehicle driven by his girlfriend, Eva, and the two drives away. The next night, the Armin Company holds a jewel talk show, which is attended by a great deal of aristocrats. The show includes a dance performance where 5 dancers appear on the stage, wearing valuable Armin jewel and advertising them. Meanwhile, a few cops are positioned around the venue to prevent any sort of theft. In the midst of the exhibition, the lights out of nowhere go off. In the dimness, one of the cops requests that the dancer go with him, guaranteeing that he will lead them to a secure room. Not long the young ladies are taken to a little compartment, which ends up being the cargo of a truck. The cop locks the young ladies inside the cargo and drives the truck away. In a startling turn of occasion, the official is uncovered to be none other than Diabolik in disguise. After driving to a specific distance, he has the young ladies take off all the jewelry from their body prior to leaving them in the road. The young ladies then advance toward a close-by bar, searching for a telephone to make a call. Nonetheless, a man begins harassing one of the dancers, provoking them to uncover their actual identity. Turns out that the young ladies are really spies allotted to trap Diabolik. The leader of the team, Agent Burov, then utilizes the bar's phone to call Inspector Ginko, a responsible for the case who appears to have been seeking after Diabolik for a long time. She reports that the task is finished. It was Ginko's ideas that the entire plan is to catch the crime mastermind. Ginko then uncovers to his associate, Palmer, that he had dunked the Armin jewels in a detectable liquid, which is not difficult to track. Meantime, Diabolik and his girlfriend drive towards their mysterious location found inside a stone mountain. When there they organize every one of the steals from they've gathered, while likewise celebrating their success over a drinks. Their second at last takes a romantic turn. What's more, they wind up sharing a kiss, since they have amassed sufficient riches. Eva recommends that they take an occasion and hang out, but Diabolik declines and on second thought shares his arrangement for their next heist. At the same time the police team, with the assistance of their GPS beacon, shows up alongside the mountain, yet they see no indication of any way from that point. Ginko examination the area completely and hypotheses that the culprit are inside the mountain. He then instructs his men to set up an explosive to explode the stone wall. Consistent with his presumption, they find a tunnel that leads them more deeper into the mountain. Inside, Diabolik and Eva notice them by their CCTV camera, so they choose to escape, leaving all of their plunder there. The two then take a secret entry that leads them out to the opposite side of the mountain. Not long, Ginko furthermore, his men arrive at the location and find the escape route, inciting them to pursue the couple. During their departure, Eva's foot coincidentally stuck out between certain rocks. She calls her boyfriend for help, however Diabolik makes a choice to focus on his well-being. Accordingly, he keeps on running leaving her behind, since Eva has no time to react, so she frantically attempts to free her leg. When she figures out how to take her leg, the cops are as of now closing in. Understanding that she needs something more time to get away, she moves onto a cliff and hops into the water. In the result, the police explore the safe house and find an assortment of numerous significant things, including intriguing artworks, gold, jewelry and gemstones. Furthermore, Ginko finds a diagram of an old abandoned industrial complex on the edges of Clerville. Thinking it to be one more hideaway of Diabolik, he chooses to look at it. After arriving at there, Ginko and his officers split up to inspect the area. During this, one of the officials incidentally reveals a mysterious door, leading them to the basement. As they turn on the lights, they discover that it's the place where Diabolik makes facial coverings for his missions. Notwithstanding the enticing discoveries, Ginko restricts his team from tampering any things, as he realizes that Diabolik will return here soon. Next we are acquainted with Duchess of Wallenberg, Altea, who is seen showing up in Clerville. Apparently she should be gotten by Ginko at the airport, but the inspector sent another person. Disappointed, Altea goes directly to the police station and meets Ginko, who ends up being her sweetheart. As they speak, she proposes that they disclose their relationship, yet Ginko demands deferring it until he satisfies his deep-rooted aspiration of catching the thief. Altea agrees, however she demands his attendance at her forthcoming party to protect her valuable black griffin necklace. Soon thereafter, Diabolic heads to his industrial complex hideaway. However, prior to entering, he hears some cops talking inside. Apparently the officials are changed shifts, with Agent Roller presently accepting the night shift. Afterward, while Agent Roller is distant from everyone else, Diabolic shows up at the front door. Seeing this, Roller madly starts shooting. However, the target hit a mirror that shows Diabolic's image. The sound of gunshots alarms the other cops guarding outside the building, provoking them to rush inside. They find Roller laying down unconscious on the floor, and the mass printing machine has been taken off by Diabolic. The occurrence is a more frustration for Ginkgo. However, he actually doesn't give up. The following day, Ginkgo is called to the office of the Minister of Justice to discuss their next move. Amidst their discussion, they get a call from Eva, who proposes an arrangement. She will assist them with getting Diabolic in return for her protected and abroad. She furnishes them with 30 minutes of time to think and decide. The minister orders the inspector to help out Eva, stressing that their goals is to catch Diabolic, since Ginkgo appears to have something different in his mind. When he leaves the minister's office, he uncovers his ideals to his team. He'll slow down Eva on the call and get them sufficient opportunity to trace her area. Precisely following 30 minutes, Eva calls Ginkgo, who then attempts to broaden the discussion so much as he can. At the same time, his colleagues track her down and head towards the area that ends up being a phone booth. When Eva sees the approaching officers, she shrewdly gets away from through a sewer vent right underneath the phone booth, leaving the officers with empty-handed. Meantime, at Diabolic's hideaway, a group of police, led by Sergeant Elena, are looking at the plunder. During this, the sergeant figures out that one of the bracelets is missing from the jewel set. She quickly reports it to Ginkgo, who thinks that it's taken by Eva and orders his men to follow it. His doubt ends up being valid as the bracelet is found in Eva's grasp. Not long after, Agent Roller figures out how to find her and holds her at gunpoint. However, when he attempts to catch her, she handily wrecks him, holds onto his gun and takes off in his vehicle. Minutes after, Palmer shows up with reinforcement, just to find Roller laying on the ground. Unfortunately, Roller has removed the bracelet from Eva's hand, making her untraceable. After this occurrence, he is prohibited from any more field visits and is told to help Sergeant Elena to proof the evidence to the division. Then again, Ginkgo faces censure from the minister for going past his request. He arranges the inspector to team up with Eva. However, this time under a danger of excusal. Left with no other decision, Ginkgo agrees and relays the message to Eva through newspaper. She then organizes a meeting on the beacon a similar night. As they meet, that's what Eva says. She's sorrowful after being rejected by Diabolic, and she presently needs vengeance. She then shares her plan. She claimed that Diabolic will get back to get his plunder back. Right off, she requests that the inspector to hand off information underworld in regards to the police moving the plunder to a safe house. Eva then proposes involving a reinforced van as an imitation to lure Diabolic, while the real treasure will be moved in a conventional van. To cause it to make more convincing, she requests that Ginkgo to assign an armed force to guard the armor car. Following this, she encourages him to lure Diabolic into a tunnel where he can be surrounded and caught. Ginkgo sets this strategy in motion from the exceptionally following day. He recruits a spy to spread the information to the underworld so that the massage will get to Diabolic. In the midst of this, Ginkgo additionally goes to meet Altea with the miserable news that he won't be available at her party since he'll execute his groundbreaking strategy around the same time. Notwithstanding, he guarantees her that he will dispatch the best officers in Clerville for her assurance. The hotly anticipated day shows up. Altea has recruited the best make artist in the town to assist her with getting prepared for the capability. All the while, a chief sergeant gathers various unique forces and briefs them on the mission. When he requests a person to drive the van with real treasures, Roller volunteers to do as such. Sergeant Elena attempts to stop him since there is a high opportunity that he could wind up close and personal with Diabolic, but the last not entirely set in stone to amend his past slip-ups and prove his ability. Following this, the customary van is stacked with every one of the assets, and arrangements are made for departure. On Ginkgo's sign, the defensively covered police van leaves from the safe house with a ton of guards encompassing it. After takeoff, Roller additionally drives out of the hideaway and heads towards the opposite way. The police-guarded van before enters a tunnel. However, in contrast to their arrangement, they end up caught inside it. They then notice a strange figure rising up out of the tunnel wall, provoking them to hold it at gunpoint. However, after looking into it further, the sort ends up being a mannequin. Meantime, at the party, Altea goes to get her valuable necklace from her closet. However, it has previously been stolen. In an astonishing development, Roller drifts away from the highway onto a mystery forest. Soon after, he shows up at a foreordained meeting point where he meets Eva. Here, it's uncovered that the last option is disguised herself as Altea's makeup artist and took her Duchess Black Griffin necklace. In addition, Roller likewise take the facial mask, uncovering himself to be as no other than Diabolic. As of now, every one of the disclosures are at last revealed. Incidentally, this was all essential for Diabolic's perplexing plan from the absolute starting point. He organized occasions to deceive Ginkgo by purposely leaving Eva also, displaying treachery to impel doubt. Eva's bouncing into the water and getting away through a mysterious way submerged was likewise a determined move in his stupendous arrangement. Moreover, Diabolic had killed Roller during their confrontation in the industrial complex hideout. He then made a duplicate of Roller's face and takes his job from that time forward. Back in the present, the couple's meet is stopped when they're held at gunpoint by Elena, who is uncovered to have been concealing in the van's trunk. She requests that they freeze. Yet, when Diabolic denies, she starts shooting, making him injured. Seeing this, Eva distracts Elena, which buy enough time for Diabolic to go after her from behind. With this, the couple at last leaves the city with every one of the valuable treasures in their possession. Running against the norm, Ginkgo wrestles with his inability to secure the criminals and protect Altea's necklaces. Regardless of being overpowered with responsibility, he goes to see Altea for one final time in the airport as she is getting back. He can just say sorry for his missteps prior to saying one last farewell to her. Next we see Diabolic and Eva at last partaking in their confidential vacation in a high villa. The end. If you like this story, please subscribe to the channel and like it to motivate me to bring you more stories like this.